Good morning, this is Daz on the Cat, the Tune and the Red. And joining us are the founder members of G4, Jonathan Ansell and Mike Christie. Is this the real life or just a fantasy? 20 years on from singing those iconic Queen Bohemian Rhapsody lyrics on The X Factor, G4 don't have to dream anymore. The classic crossover kings are living a real life, which saw them release their sixth album, 20, last month, and they're now on their biggest tour yet with over 100 headline dates. Not only that, they've also released their take on the romantic classic You Don't Have to Say You Love Me, which is available now everywhere. Pioneering their iconic pop opera signature sound, G4 were undisputably the real winners of the first series of the groundbreaking British talent show. Since then, they've gone on from strength to strength, with highlights including the release of their self-titled double platinum #1 album, the fastest-selling album of 2005, countless sold-out shows, including the Royal Albert Hall, and multiple arena dates, plus collabs with Robin Gibb, Cliff Richard, Leslie Garrett. Amazing. 20 sees G4 return to their roots with a heady mix of self-chosen modern pop songs from the likes of Olivia Rodrigo, Billie Eilish and James Blunt, alongside timeless favourites and operatic standards. Led by founder members Jonathan and Mike, they've also got a couple of new members as well. Duncan, who this is his first album, and their new recruit, Jai McDowell, as well. Former Britain's Got Talent winner in 2011. But while G4 possesses a pair of new voices, the new album has also reunited them with Brian Rawlings, the Grammy-winning producer, who's helped elevate their debut album to remarkable heights. They're also coming back up to the Northeast on the 18th of September at Whitley Bay, and on the 24th of September to the Whitby Pavilion. Please welcome to the show the wonderful G4. Good morning.
Hello. Thanks for having us on.
Yeah, that's probably, we've run out of time now. That introduction was so long. How are you doing,
quite
gents?
something.
We got it in there. Yeah, great. Thanks for the chat.
Yeah, bye-bye.
No, it's amazing. And thank you very much for having us on the show today.
No, you're very, very welcome. Thank you. The tour is underway. How's it all going?
Oh, do you know what? It's amazing fun. It's what we live for. We love to share the music live. It's been great to create it in the studio, do all the finessing and everything. But now when we get to share it live, that's when the real fun happens. And it's been so wonderful to see how well it's been received at all the venues so far on what's going to be a busy, busy year on the road.
It really is, isn't it? I mean, can you tell us a little bit about the new album then? How did all that come together?
Well, really, we wanted to have something to celebrate the 20 years with. Yeah. And it starts out with the album. We've been brainstorming for about a year, I think, different songs, listening to songs online. On our long drives on tour, we're always listening to songs, throwing around ideas and whittling it down. It's always very difficult because you've got to end up with 10 or 11 tracks. And it was just over a period of time we came up with it. But we really wanted to celebrate what we've done over the 20 years. For example, we've got a barbershop song on there, Good Night, Sweetheart, which was the first song we ever sang together and takes us right back to our roots. But then also we're covering a Billie Eilish song, What Was I Made For, from the Barbie movie. And everything in between. We've got some Dusty Springfield, some James Blunt, and we just love the variety from the pop, rock, musical theatre, opera, and everything in between. It really is a very exciting mix, and we love bringing that not only in the album but across the tour as well.
Yeah. Now, obviously, you're a tight band. You're obviously all pals, touring together, recording together. How difficult was it deciding on those songs? Because I would imagine having four voices. You know, was there a few arguments in there? Was there a few tantrums because somebody didn't get the song they wanted? Or was it all quite...
100%.
Yeah.
It was far from amicable. There's been some drama. But do you know what? That's what it's about. We're all passionate about what we do and the style of music that we wanted to incorporate. And there's been certainly a few back and forths. No fisticuffs, but it's got almost violent. No, it hasn't. We've been really supportive of all the wonderful plethora of ideas, and that's been the great thing, that all four of us and our respective other halves and other influences have come in, which is great. And we've ended up then bringing it together, and there's definitely wonderful moments that all of us are super excited that we've influenced, and then there's moments that maybe weren't the ones we were hoping for, but they've still got a great place and we're super proud of. I think it's that lovely team dynamic which brings it and makes it special and something we're all super proud of because we've all been part of that process.
Yeah Absolutely. And you've got some new recruits to the band. You've got Duncan and Jai as well. They seem to have settled into the band very nicely.
Yeah, well, Duncan's been with us about 5 or 6 years now, and he's our bass, so he's got a very low voice, and he's fantastic. And then Lewis left us at the end of last year to become an airline pilot, a lifelong dream of his. Brilliant. And Jai has stepped forward into the fold, as you mentioned earlier, a Britain's Got Talent winner, which is quite incredible. I mean, his voice is insane, and what it has to the album is beyond description, really. And again, on the tour, so it's a real joy and an honour to have him on board. And have some Scottish blood as well in the group for the first time.
and you've got such a dedicated fan base, haven't you? They've been so supportive over the years and have grown up with you as well along the way.
Yeah, we've got a wonderful mix. And the great thing is that it's continuing to grow in a lovely way. We've got audience members coming now saying they weren't born when we were on the X Factor, but they're loving our music and they're discovering it now. We've even ventured into the world of TikTok, and we're getting a bit more embracing of the social media world that didn't exist at all when we were first on the X Factor and those early days of our career. So we're starting to really embrace all of those different media formats to try and lure new people and new audiences in. And it's great now that we have such a variety out there when we step on stage and when we see people's reactions to videos and audio releases. It's a lovely, incredibly varied mix, and that's kind of reflective of the musical style as well, I guess. But it's a lovely audience, and they've been incredible, and it's only testament to them that we're still doing what we do.
Yeah, brilliant. We're chatting with Jonathan and Mike from G4. They're coming up to the Northeast on this huge 20th anniversary tour that they're on. They're coming to Whitley Bay on the 18th of September and to Whitby Pavilion on the 24th of September. We'll chat a little bit more after hearing one of their songs.
So we hope you enjoy this from the new album G420. This is Olivia Rodrigo's Vampire mashed in with Radiohead's Creep.
You here before.
Hey, to give the satisfaction, asking how you doing now. How's the castle built of people you pretend to care about? Just what you wanted.
Your skin makes me cry.
You got it.
You float like a feather.
I see the parties and the diamonds. Sometimes when I close my eyes, 6 months of torture you sold as some forbidden paradise. I loved you truly.
I wish I was special. 'Cause I've made some real big mistakes, but you make the worst one look fine. I should have known it was strange. You only come out at night. I used to think I was smart, but you made me look so naive. The way you saw me for parts as you sunk your teeth into me. I'm a bloodsucker, dream crusher, bleeding me dry like a damn vampire.
I don't care if it hurts.
And every girl I ever talked to told me you were bad news. You called them crazy. God, I hate the way I called them crazy too. You're so convincing. How do you lie without flinching?
I want you to know.
Oh, what a mesmerizing, paralyzing, tragic little thrill. Can't figure out just how you do it, and God knows I never will. When for me and not her.
I wish I was
Spells your age no better. I made some real big mistakes, but you make the worst one look fine. I should have known it was strange. You only come out at night. I used to think I was smart, but you made me so naive. The way you sold me for parts, 'cause you sunk your teeth into me. I'm a bloodsucker, dream crusher, bleeding me dry like a damn vampire. You said it was true love, but wouldn't that be hard? You can't love anyone, 'cause that would mean you had a heart. I tried to help you out, now I know that I can't. 'Cause how you think this kind of thing I'll never understand. 'Cause I made some real big mistakes, but you make the worst one look fine. I should have known it was strange. You won't like a damn vampire. She's running out the door. She's running,
Good morning, this is Daz on the Cat, the Tune and the Red, and that was G4 and their cover of Olivia Rodrigo and Creep as well thrown in there. Absolutely amazing, guys. You must be having such a blast on tour at the moment. Can you tell us what a typical day is like on tour for G4?
It's a surreal environment. We get to venues. We traditionally travel through the night in our bus, and we arrive, and you wake up a bit bleary-eyed, find a coffee shop, find somewhere to explore, maybe go grab a little stroll along a seafront or a river or somewhere that's just like opens your mind up a little bit and gets you set for the day. Then the setup begins, the tech team arrive, and the show starts to take shape. And then we have a wonderful night. Traditionally from 7:30 every evening, we're on stage. We've got a meet and greet before, and then we hot foot it across to the next venue for the next day. It's intense, a lot of caffeine, but it's fun. Gets us through.
And have you got any quirky pre-show rituals, superstitions, that sort of thing before you go on stage?
Not really anymore, actually. I mean, we always do a sound check before the show. That's usually before the meet and greet. We used to have various chants and different things we did, but we haven't actually done that recently. Because I think you get yourself into a bit of a panic, because if you don't remember to do it one night and you're on stage, you suddenly think, oh, have we jinxed it? Is something going to happen? So in some ways, it's better not to be too neurotic about these things.
It's difficult. So Jai's got a funny thing with this water. He's got like a pH leveled water that he found once on a pantomime contract. And it was one of the most successful panto contracts with regards to his vocal health that he's ever had. Wow. And now he's absolutely obsessed with this pH leveled water. So we keep getting these deliveries from the courier for these big bottles of water for him, and he won't touch any other drop. And he has to have it. And there's like a blind panic if he's getting low on supply. So yeah, do you know what? There are things in and amongst the group that we have. And Duncan definitely throws out about 300 press ups just before he goes on, so he's got that real pump on, and that's hugely inspiring. And Mike and I just look on and think, as the older guys, we definitely can't get that many down. But you know what? It's lovely. We've all got our individual quirks, and I have a little warble in the toilet. The guys panic that the fire alarm's just gone off, and it's just me singing some high notes, and then we hit the stage. So yeah,
absolutely brilliant. And you've performed at some of the most incredible venues around the world. What has been some of your favourites?
The one place we absolutely love more than anything is the Royal Albert Hall, because we've actually performed there more times than anywhere else, 12 times, I believe. And you just feel the history as soon as you walk through the doors, and there's the mural right inside with all the faces of people right from back in the day that have performed there. And you realise you're part of that history. And of course, you walk out onto that stage. It's so iconic and so unique around the world. And anyone who's anyone as a performer wants to perform there. So it's such a privilege to be there. And that really has to be the ultimate highlight for us.
I mean, it is your 20th anniversary. You've had some amazing collaborations along the way. I mentioned them earlier, from Robin Gibb to Cliff Richard. Do you still have a list of people that you'd love to work with?
100%. Yeah. Elton John is still there on speed dial. He never answers the phone. But, there are loads of great acts we'd love to work with, and wonderful performers and writers that we'd love to get involved with. But you never know. There's a dream, and we are hoping to realize it at some point, to get across to Australia and Sydney Opera House. Potentially duetting with Elton John in Sydney Opera House would mean that our career has been accomplished. And until then, we're just having a great time where we're at. But it is it's always about those aspirations and dreams and improving yourselves. And gosh, we're so critical of all our performances as well, irrelevant of looking at those like dream collaborations. You just come off stage and go, oh, I wish I'd done that better, or why don't you try that tomorrow? Why don't you do that? Like, we're never complacent. We're never happy and just think, oh, we nailed that. There's certain moments you're proud of, and then you think, no, we can fix that for tomorrow. We can fix that for next week, whatever it is. And that's continual striving to improve and grow and improve is certainly always there.
The tour show that you do is absolutely incredible. Your voices are amazing. Have there been times, though, while you've been on tours, over the years, where things haven't maybe quite worked out, or maybe something unexpected has happened in the middle of a gig that's thrown you off?
Oh, absolutely. I mean, things go wrong all the time. And obviously we get the odd sniffle here and there, but John has a number of times been on stage with his flies undone.
Nice.
But the front row noticed it a lot quicker than he does, always. So that's a bit unfortunate. But yeah, there's been various falls and trips on stage, and that's always been quite amusing. But it's those things that, people really relate to that because, at the end of the day, we are human like anyone else. And I think people forget that when they sort of idolize a pop star or whatever, and they have their album, and they come and see the shows, that we are human as well. And that's what's the joy about the live shows, is the fact that something can go wrong at any point and you never know what's going to happen. Someone might heckle at a particular moment and it completely changes the vibe of the show. And that is what is so exciting for me.
Well, the voice just suddenly cuts out, and I've done these horrendous yodels in the beginning of Bohemian Rhapsody. We kickstart the show, and then all of a sudden it just comes out in a really weird way in my throat, and the other guys just sort of try and pretend it's not happened, or just look across in shock. And and it's do you know what, we're human, as Mike says, and the reality is that we've got a lot of shows, but then it warms the audience to you because they do realize it's live, and you're nailing 2 hours of music a day, and it's exciting atmosphere, because then when you are nailing the moments after and you're riding over it, it's even more exciting for them.
As many will know, you started on the X Factor. Do you look back at that time with fondness?
Absolutely. I mean, it was the most incredible thing. It really launched our career. It gave us a platform that there's no way as a group we'd still be together today otherwise. We just did it for a bit of a laugh, and it just took off, and it was all a bit of a surprise. But it was every emotion possible you experienced during that, from absolute despair and hate, but to love and just wonderment and absolute joy. I mean, I can't begin to explain what it meant to get through every week of the live shows. It just meant everything. And it really was a roller coaster ride. And it's a crash course in media training as well, having to deal with cameras and with press and everything. And we certainly wouldn't change it for the world, because it really gave us that platform that enabled us to put our music out there.
And you are absolute living proof that does work, and that, amazing careers can be had from those type of shows. I think it's amazing that you're celebrating your 20th anniversary tour right now. The new album 20 is amazing as well. You sound better than ever, and you can catch the G4 gents when they come up to the Northeast. They come into Whitley Bay on the 18th of September and to Whitby Pavilion on the 24th of September. Just before you go, guys, how do you want people to feel when they're leaving one of your concerts in either Whitley Bay or in Whitby in the Northeast?
Elated, having had an evening of escapism from whatever woes or troubles you're having in your life, or even if your life's fabulous, just a moment of escapism, the chance to just step away from whatever it is at home and have a great, great evening with us, because we certainly will have a wonderful time with you too.
Brilliant. Well, we can't wait to get you back up in the Northeast and to give another little taster. Can you give us another song from your new album to play out with?
So this is the first single we released from G420. It's our take of Donaggio and Dusty Springfield amalgamated together. It's Io che non vivo senza te. You don't have to say you love me.
All the very best with the tour, gents.
Thank you.
Wonderful, wonderful time, and we can't wait to see you in the Northeast. Take it easy.
Cheers for having us on. Take care. Ta-da.
Thank you.
Siamo qui, noi soli, come ogni sera, ma tu sei più triste ed io lo so perché. So che tu vuoi dirmi che non sei felice, che io sto cambiando e tu mi vuoi lasciare. Io che non vivo più di un'ora senza te, come posso stare una vita senza te? Sei mia, mai niente lo sai. separarci un giorno potrà. When I said I needed you, you said you would always stay. It wasn't me who changed, but you. And now you've gone away. You don't have to say you love me, just be close at hand. You don't have to stay for